Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's morning coffee with Mike. I actually had some tea this morning. Today we're doing Q&A. Q&A Friday, and the first question that we're taking actually came in yesterday overnight. Has to do with trading routines. Yesterday we talked all about trading routines, and one of the questions that came in was, I find it difficult to stick to a routine. What should I do? Fairly common problem, fairly common question, frankly. And due to the nature of the question, there's a lot of different ways to tackle this, right? We don't know exactly the angle that this person was coming from. So we're going to walk through a few of these angles. Let me know if any of these apply to you. So the first one is routine is difficult, just feel kind of sluggish, don't feel like doing it. Get up in the morning, it's a pain in the ass to do a trading routine. Don't have time, don't have the energy. I feel like doing something else. This is hard, blah, blah, blah. Let me know if that's your mindset. It's fairly common. It's a mindset that I had too at many points in my life, not just for trading routines, but for other things too. Whether it's for going to the gym, getting fit, whether it's for having a decent diet where I'm not eating tons of crap all the time. Well, whatever it is, when we have certain habits or routines, changing them can be hard. So if that's the angle that we're going with, we need to define or decide what our hard is going to be. Do we, because everything is going to be hard. Delaying our goals is hard, right? If we're talking about trading routines and we now have an understanding of the types of trading routines that will get us to our goals and we're just putting it off because, well, it's hard to do. Well, guess what? Not having our goal, not having our result is hard as well. So we need to consciously decide each day what hard we want for ourselves. And we need to make that decision in the moment. Now, how do we make that decision in the moment? How can we be more conscious of making that decision in the moment? That's a very good question. One of the ways that I've done this for myself is to find ways to make myself conscious of the goal that I'm after. One of the ways that I do that, and a great hack for all of you watching, is to, like how on your phone you have the wallpaper on your phone, just write your goals on that wallpaper. Take your top three goals and use that to write your top three goals and put that as your wallpaper. Could do that with any kind of app. You could do that with Canva. That's what I like to use. Just type out what your top three goals are, put it as the wallpaper on your phone. And when you go and you look at your phone, you look at your phone 100 times a day, your goals will constantly be in your face. And that'll be a reminder for why you need to follow through and do your routine. And hopefully it helps you remember the uh, the different parts of why you want to do your routine. I see a question come in from YouTube from Mark. Mark says, "Good morning, Michael. Started reading the Trading Mind Wheel last night. Haven't gotten far into it, but it's great so far." Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. I hope that you enjoy it, Mark. Yes, the Trading Mind Wheel is available everywhere. And you know what? The audio book for the Trading Mind Wheel just came out. So that's available now too if you go over to Amazon. Hard copies of the book are available pretty much everywhere. But if you want the audible version, you have to go to Amazon. Trading Mind Wheel. Okay, let's see. What other ways can we tackle the question of, I find it difficult to stick to a routine. What should I do? The next part of it is your routine serving you? Right? So is your routine getting you to the goal that you want? Or perhaps has something in your life changed? Here's a great example, and it's actually an example that I talk about in the book, Mark. So yeah, let me know if you've gotten to this part yet. But there's a part in the book where I talk about uh, the trading routine that I had before my daughter was born, when she was born, and then after she was born. Before she was born, I had a great trading routine, and my equity curve was going up and to the right, just like how you would want it to. And then after she was born, most wonderful thing to ever happen to me in my life. And my trading went to crap. I went back into being a boom and bust trader, and I was like, "Well, what in the heck is going on? I still have the same trading routines. Why if I'm doing the same things, why am I getting a different result now that my daughter's born?" Well, didn't dawn on me until about 6 months in that, hey, you're a new dad, and your routine that was ultra efficient, taking you only a couple of hours on a weekend, was now taking you 10 to 15 hours on a weekend. You're stressed, you're not focused, and those are some of the reasons why you're now going through this boom bust cycle. So your routine needed to change. And when I changed my routine, that's what got me back onto the the right path. So if you find yourself in that situation where sticking to your routine is difficult, take a look at your life circumstance. Did something change? Did you have a routine that was working and now it's not? Try to figure out why and how to get yourself back on track. Let's see what other questions have come in. I see a bunch of comments and things coming in here on Instagram. All right, let's scroll to the top and see what came in here. Yeah, good morning. Good morning from India. Are you a full-time trader? So I consider myself to be, uh, even though I'm trading full time, right? Like this is my full-time thing. It's it's different from where you might consider yourself full-time if you're well, let me give it from this perspective because, well, when I was trading part time for a very long time and just trading on the side, and I still had my full time job, I considered full time trading when I was first thinking about it to be sitting in front of the screens and doing trading nonstop. And that was what full time trading is. No, full time trading is more of generating full time income from your trading. Right? Like, so it doesn't have to take a long time. So in that perspective, yes, full-time trading, absolutely. It doesn't mean that I'm spending all my time s- only on trading. What allows us to get to that level of being a full-time trader is being able to compound over time. So if we're starting out small, let's say that you have a small account. The objective is to grow that account over time and allow compounding to take place. That's what I did. That's what I did between, well, when was it? 2010 was when I finally started to turn the corner. And it was in 2017, 2018, when I was finally able to make the transition into doing trading as my full-time thing, and I left the day job behind. Very, very good day job too. Middle manager at a major healthcare institution, um, six-figure salary. To leave that behind. Why? Because, well, trading allowed that, and it wasn't trying to force trading to become a full-time thing. It was allowing the compounding over several years to take effect. Question. Well, what steps would you suggest for someone who trades great in the simulation and fails to do so going live? Great question. So that's pretty common as well. So if you're doing well with a simulation and you're struggling going to a full account. One thing that I would look at is how much money are you putting into that full account? Is it all of your money? Right? Like let's talk about it from a money perspective first. Is it something to do with the money that's on the line? Because If you're going in heavy, right? Like, so let's say you're starting out with, I don't know, 10 grand, right? And that's all the money that you have in the world to start your trading with. You've done well in your simulation. If you feel good in there, and then you take all the money that you have and put that into the market because you feel like you're ready to go. Then that's when the questions start to come. Am I really ready? And that's when you start to hesitate in pulling the trigger now that real money's on the line. If that's the case, what I would recommend is scaling down, still going in with capital, but using a much smaller amount. Use 10% of the capital that you were initially going in with it. So if you were going in with 10 grand, start out with only 1,000 and then slowly build up. And allow that to compound, and then once you start to get some traction, then start to scale up slowly. Don't go from 1,000 to 10,000 overnight. Start from 1,000, then go up to 1,200. Then from 1,200, go up to 1,500. Right? Allow it to slowly build, and then you'll get used to the bigger numbers. And that's one way to do it. Let me know if that's what you were thinking, and what follow up questions you have. Vishal, suggest a good book. Best one that I could recommend for you right now is The Trading Mind Wheel. Just came out about a month ago. Available on Amazon, available on Barnes& and Noble, Target, Walmart, everywhere books are sold. And what this book does is it gives you the 8 essential skills that are needed for trading mastery. It walks you through all 8. It gives you the mindsets that are needed for all 8 in order to help you adopt each one of these skill sets, and gives you tips and exercises on developing each of those 8 essential skills. So, the Trading Mind Wheel, go grab it. Let's see, what other questions do you guys have? Q&A Friday here. Just taking a sip of tea. Drinking this yogi tea. You guys ever try yogi tea? I like it quite a bit. Please talk more about psychology. Happily, what questions do you have about psychology? While we're waiting for that answer, uh, which method do you use? So the trading methodology that I follow is closely related to Can Slim. That's the first one that really resonated with me and actually worked. So if you're familiar with Can Slim, if you're familiar with William O'Neill's work, and you're familiar with much of what I do, if you're familiar with Mark Minervini, you're also fairly familiar with my methodology. What I've done is I've tweaked it and have made certain customizations to fit me, fit my personal style, fit my risk tolerance, fit my time frames. And that's one of the skills that I teach in the Trading Mind Wheel. None of us need to go out and invent something that's completely brand new, that's never been heard of before. None of us need to reinvent the wheel. What we do need to do is find a methodology that works, that we like, that will get us the results that we want, and then we can custom tailor it to ourselves. That's really the path to success, and it's discussed right here inside the Trading Mind Wheel. In which app do you trade? So there's a few tools that I like to use. For brokers, my favorite broker is Thinkorswim. The reason why is because I like the execution there. That they execute the trades very well. They allow you to set up complex orders. So the way that I like to set up my orders, I like to swing trade, and I'll set up my orders to trigger automatically. So I'll set up a stop limit order, which will get me in at a certain price and then up to a certain price. I'll set up all of my targets ahead of time. I'll set up my stop losses ahead of time. And then that's what allows me to sit here and talk to you guys and not have to worry about, oh, there's an alert going off. Let me go and enter an order. No, I set up all that stuff automatically. So Thinkorswim is my favorite broker. Some of the tools that I like to use TradingView for my charts, and I like to use MarketSmith for my screens. For From what I've seen available, MarketSmith is still by far the number one platform, and I'd love to see something else that comes close. So far, there's nothing else on the market that really holds a candle to MarketSmith. Okay. Money that's okay to lose, FYI. So that's from Urban. Let me see. What was the original question from you? You were the person that was asking more about psychology, right? So if you're talking about money to lose, so here's how you can here's how you could start to think about segregating money to lose. So it's not think about it not as a loss, but think about it as a cost of doing business, a cost of seeing if the trade that you're going to put on is correct. So from that perspective, let's say you've got $100 and you want to see, is this trade going to work out or not? How much of that $100 are you going to risk? Right? How much are you going to pay to see if this trade is going to make you money? Are you going to pay $100 to see if it's going to make you money? Are you going to pay $10 to see if it's going to make you money? Think about it like that, and that's one step to changing your mindset about losses. Something else to do is to budget for trading. What a lot of people do, a lot of people don't have budgets set up. And so they'll just pull from one pot of money, put that into the market, and when the trade starts to move against them, then they'll think, "Oh, I could have used that money for X," right? Well, whatever X is for you, whether that's going out, whether that's buying a new watch, a new car, or a new whatever. That's where the mindset goes because that money wasn't budgeted for. If you budget routinely for trading and you have your separate pot that's just meant for trading, then you have less of an emotional attachment to that money. So that's another way to start to think differently about money. See what other questions you guys have. I like ginger turmeric tea. Have have I tried that? Think I've tried something similar to that. This one is the orange zinger or something like that. It's good. I like it. I need a methodology. I actually share my methodology in the Trading Mind Wheel. So it's similar to Can Slim. I changed the acronym to EAGLE, which is better in my opinion than Can Slim as far as the name goes, but it's fairly similar. There are some key differences in it though. Some of the key differences is that I'm looking for earnings, sales, and or projections. Can Slim demands that you have earnings and sales. Well, from my studies, I found that in many cases, especially most recently, like if you're looking not just at biotechs, but if you're looking at IPOs, often you don't have the earnings and the sales. Sometimes you have one or the other. Sometimes you have neither, and you just have projections that are off the charts. So I want at least one of those, and I want them to be absolutely extraordinary. If it does, then it passes the list. Then the A is for asymmetric reward to risk. I want to look for asymmetric reward to risk trades that fit my profile. The G is for growth, game changers. I'm looking for growth not just in the industry itself, but I'm also looking for growth in the funds that own this thing. It's really the institutions of the world, the major hedge funds, mutual funds, pension funds of the world, the guys with the deep pockets that are going to move the market. And you can see how many funds own a particular stock. So the more funds that own it, the better. And the more funds that are increasing quarter over quarter over quarter, that's what you really want to see. That's what the G in Eagle is for. The L is for leadership. I want to look for stocks that are leading the market higher. I want to look for stocks that are leading their particular industry group. And I want to look for industry groups that are also on the rise. All those three things, that's fantastic. That really can help move a stock very well. And the last E is for environment. The market environment is a critical part of trading. It's where you'll find stocks that can buck the trend and move ahead of the market. By definition, if you're trading leaders, they'll move ahead of the market. But if you're in a downtrend or if the market is very choppy, it's not a time to get aggressive with your trading. And the reason why is because with the level of volatility, you'll likely get shaken out over many trades. So you're actually better off to put on the to put on the trades that you have, right? To sort of find the best setups that you can, then put those trades on, get traction, and if the market is also moving in the same direction, so when you have all boats moving in the same direction, then that's what's going to give you the best trends and the best opportunities to make big money. Question from Renav. How to connect technical analysis to psychological analysis? That's a great question. So, the way that I approach it is that everything is belief driven. That sentence that I just said is based on a belief that I have that everything is belief driven, but beliefs are really our internal programming. So, it's the same thing that allows you to look both ways before you cross the street, right? You have a belief that says that that's a smart thing to do. So, if when it comes to technical analysis, the if you believe that technical analysis works or if there's certain patterns that work, then that's what will allow you to take the action to trade those patterns. What you want to do to strengthen your beliefs in technical analysis is to actually go and do the work that's going to allow you to develop the skill set. And that's what I'm discussing in here in the trading mind wheel is that if let's say you find some kind of a technical pattern or some kind of an indicator and you heard that this thing is good and that it works, that's great. You could see some evidence that somebody posted on Instagram or Twitter or wherever. Until you go and investigate that indicator yourself, you're not going to have be able to hold the belief at the same level as somebody that's actually gone off and done the work. And the reason why that's important is because when it comes time to execute, when we because we're playing a game of probabilities, no indicator is going to work, no chart pattern is going to work 100% of the time. And we need to have the belief in this pattern, in this indicator, in this whatever that we're doing it well, that not only does it work, but we're doing it right, that we've seen the results. And it's in doing that level of work that will allow us to stick with the system through those periods where it doesn't work. And again, it's so important because we're playing a game of probabilities. And if we don't have the belief and we start out operating and it doesn't work, then we'll toss the system because we don't have the belief yet. Do the work first, then trade the system. That's how psychology and technical analysis merge hand in hand. Let's see, what other questions do we have? Sir, can you explain to me how to control emotions during trading? Great, great question. So, how do you control emotions during the trade? A lot of it depends on your style. So, if you are a swing trader like I am, how I control my emotions might be different than how a day trader controls their emotions. One of the reasons why is because I set up my trades, my orders well in advance. Right now, one of the trades that I put on yesterday triggered KNSL, and I'm in that right now. I don't have any emotions about it because, well, I set all that stuff up ahead of time. I have belief in my system because I've gone and I've done all the back testing and all the work, and I know that over the long term, this system works. I don't know if this trade is going to make me money or if it's going to lose me money in the short term, but I know that over 100 trades of executing the same pattern over and over again, that it will net out to wins. So that part there of knowing the end result before I even start is one of the ways that I'm able to manage emotions. Now, let's take it from a another perspective. Let's take it from a stoicism perspective, where you are aware of your emotions, your thoughts, your feelings, things like that. A great practice is meditation. Meditation is a great practice because you get to observe your thoughts. In a sense, you begin to become detached from your thoughts. You gain an awareness that you are not your thoughts, that you are the awareness of thought, if that makes sense. So, just like beliefs, all the thoughts that we have come from somewhere. We were born, we are taught different things, and the ideas that were coming uh, from other places and from our own observations. And so these ideas are bouncing around in our head. And so if we're in a meditative state and we're observing these thoughts, well, we can decide if we want to hold on to these thoughts. We could decide if we want to let these thoughts go. We can decide if these thoughts are serving us, or in what ways they're serving us. Meditation is great for that. So, one way to control your emotions during trading is to create a meditation practice. Do it every day. And as you create the habit of meditation, you'll be able to observe thoughts, and you'll get to a point where you'll be able to observe thoughts while in the middle of the trade. And you'll be able to manage your thoughts, your thinking, and your emotions better mid trade. What books someone can read to get some knowledge on trading Forex? Good question. The Trading Mind Wheel book gives you skills on trading in general, right? So all the skills that are needed for trading mastery, whether you're trading stocks, whether you're trading Forex, crypto, whatever, all those kinds of major skills that are essential are all in this book here, The Trading Mind Wheel. As far as trading a specific asset and learning more about that asset, uh, people that I would suggest reaching out to would be Austin Silver, Akil Stokes, Jason Greystone. All fantastic Forex traders, all fantastic Forex coaches. Reach out to them. Let's see. A lot of questions coming in today on Friday. I think that we've got time for one more. Let's see. Last question. And then for any other questions, you guys can uh, send me a DM. You can reach out to me on email. You could join the newsletter. So every Sunday, I post a free newsletter, and you get my email, and you could reply straight to me that way. So to get on the newsletter, just go to marawealth.com/newsletter, and you'll get on the newsletter. So, last question of the day. Some points on trading psychology that helped you specifically. Okay, so perhaps the biggest thing that helped me specifically was questioning my beliefs. And I actually created a tool that's on marawealth.com. If you just go to the homepage, it's called the Trading Mind Decoder, and it asks a series of 9 questions uh, for you to answer that will help you dig into your beliefs. I go into it in the book as well, but I created this free tool that's on marawealth.com, the Trading Mind Decoder. So, what does it ask you? It goes it and asks you about your trading beliefs. It asks you about your trading beliefs. It asks you about your money beliefs. It asks you about your self beliefs. You go through these exercises, you write them all out. It's like getting your beliefs about these different topics out of your head and onto the page, like literally taking the internal and making it external. The reason why you want to do that is because it's a lot easier to look at something objectively when it's out there versus when it's in here. That's the point of the exercise. That's one of the big points of the exercise. So once you have your beliefs out of your head and onto the page, then you're able to start going through them and seeing, is this helping me? Is this not helping me? If this is not helping me, can I let it go? Sometimes the answer will be yes. Sometimes the answer will be no. Sometimes the answer will be maybe. Then you can start to ask those that are not helping you, but you can't let them go. Well, why is that? Often it's tied to some other belief. Often it could be tied to, well, I paid a lot of money for this belief. Maybe this belief came from a parent. Maybe it came from somebody else that I respect. And there's some other things for you to unravel with those belief sets. But that's some of the exercises in a nutshell. To find out more about those exercises, go to marawealth.com, and it's right there on the homepage. That's it for today. We're already way over time. I hope that you guys enjoy your weekend. Have a great rest of your Friday, and I'll see you back here on Monday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Take care. Much love. Peace out, everybody.